And welcome back to Conservative News Channel on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. As we slowly develop a background as to what took place in the House of Representatives leading up to Election Day, there is growing evidence, and in some cases proof, that Paul Ryan was to blame for the GOP midterm losses. There are some other issues. Take Orange County in California, where most of the Republicans won on Election Day but found votes over the following week, 10 days, has slowly caused all of those red districts to turn blue. That's voter fraud, and we know we have that. We've seen it in Florida. But more importantly, what was Paul Ryan's role in the elections? Well, Paul Ryan, first off, he's a rhino. Rhinos don't like it when conservatives get any power or authority. Leading up to this election cycle, 43 Republicans, almost all of them anti-Trumpers, resigned from the House of Representatives and went off to do their own thing. This left the House very vulnerable to a flip, and Paul Ryan knew that. Now, as we start looking at Paul Ryan's actual actions, although he gave great lip service to trying to hold on to a majority in the House of Representatives, the facts are surely speaking not true. There were a variety of races where conservatives, not rhinos, were 1 to 2 points ahead, and Paul Ryan pulled funding from those conservatives. I am so glad Paul Ryan is gone. Also, take a look at Paul Ryan's last national TV appearance prior to the elections. He jabbed at Trump for using Alinsky tactics and tribal politics. Paul Ryan obviously does not like Donald Trump. Another problem is that everywhere, almost, that Trump went to help people, their poll numbers dramatically improved after Trump's efforts. Take a look at what Paul Ryan didn't do with Donald Trump. He could have had Donald Trump do robocalls into marginal districts that they were concerned with losing, and based on everything we've seen, everywhere Trump went, everything Trump did helped dramatically, even in West Virginia. Manchin was carrying a 17-point lead, and after Trump went twice into there pushing for the Republican candidate, Manchin ended off winning with just 3.5%. So obviously Trump changed the dynamics of that election. Maybe not to a victory, but definitely put the man in trouble. We could have seen Trump in different House districts. We could have seen Trump in different states where he pushed House districts. We could have seen Trump do robocalls for all those marginal seats that they were concerned with losing, but we saw none of that. Why? Well, it's pretty obvious. Paul Ryan's last public appearance on television prior to the elections, suggesting that Trump was a problem for using Alinsky tactics and tribal politics. Obviously, Paul Ryan, the rhino, did not like Donald Trump and is still a never-Trumper and could be a strong reason for his departure from the House. He couldn't stand working with Donald Trump. If you think about it, before Donald Trump arrived in Washington, the GOP was largely dead. It had no life left in it. The voters were seriously upset with the rhinos that had all gotten elected and taken power. And as a result, there was no enthusiasm for the Republican Party. Now, all those never-Trumpers are finding out that Donald Trump is incredibly popular with the GOP base, and he has a movement created by Donald Trump for Donald Trump, not for the GOP. And the GOP has to learn a lesson from this. They need to understand that we're tired of being pushed aside and only used for votes to get what I would call moderate Democrats into the GOP. And we as voters need to stop listening to the media when they tell us this is the only electable candidate. Well, the media wants Democrats running as Republicans to get elected because they know it doesn't change the agenda, even though they'd prefer the more socialist Democrats to be in power. I'm glad Paul Ryan's gone. I'm glad he won't be there for 2020, and I'm glad we have new voices in the Republican Party that will be using Donald Trump for all of his assets in the future. Currently, there is a big dream to get the House back in 2020, and with Donald Trump on the top of the ticket, I'm surely hoping that that's not just a dream, but ultimately becomes a reality. Ladies and gentlemen, with that said, I hope you'll take the time to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.